Welcome plane shifters all over the world. Welcome, welcome. I'm live also tonight with the objective to make some progress on the game, on our game, plane shift. So, where we left yesterday? Well, yesterday we left with a mission. We were in the middle of a mission, and actually the mission is this one, which is the ability to exchange items player to player. At the moment you are already capable of exchanging player to NPC, even if there are some small bugs and few things to check, so we will fix that, but our goal at the moment is to do the player to player. And so here you see a list, assuming I switched the scene. Yes, I did. Here you see a list of all the items that at the moment came to my mind for completing this part. The first one was to fix the NPC name in the interact window, and we did it. The second one was to ensure that the quests were properly updated, and it is where we left yesterday. We were basically done, so what we can do a test, but live, but I actually did a test like 10 minutes ago, and I've seen that is actually working properly. So this part is done, which is pretty nice. Hello, Sway. And so we can actually consider it done. So now we have basically 3 places in which we send out the message of the quest list to be updated. One is when you accept a quest, when you are getting assigned a quest. Another one is when you complete the quest, and the last one is when you discard the quest, which is something that we don't use very often, but anyway, it's there as a functionality. Plus there is also obviously the initial loading when you load in the game. When you load in the game, you have yes, you have also that, which is basically the graph that we had here. So start of the game and then the 3. We can delete this, by the way. We don't need it anymore. We don't need it anymore, boys. Okay, so the next thing we want to check is this one, the refresh of the inventory when moving an item to the exchange window. So what we have seen is that for some reason, whenever I move an item from this to the world, hello Maui, welcome. When I move an item from the inventory to the exchange window, it is not properly refreshed, which is weird because I think it was working at least for the let me launch the server and the client. I think for the crafting it was working, right? I think it was, but we had to fix it specifically. Is there any issue with the stream? I don't know. Do you have a problem hearing me or anything else? I mean, it works for me, but I'm on this side, so it should be easy for me. So let me just log in and see. I think we had to patch also the movement of the items for crafting. I think there was something similar. I think that here is the same, just is probably another part of the blueprint system. But maybe let's do some checks. Okay, so let's say okay, crafting. Do you remember how we were testing crafting? I don't remember at all. Ah yes, the wooden bowl, right? The wooden bowl. So we were basically generating a wooden bowl and then we were dropping items into it. Let me just make it a bit bigger so you can see it. Slop, juice, berry, butter, flour, soup, mug. Okay, I don't know, let me just generate a new wooden bowl. I think we were doing something like that. No, think I have to put it in brackets or something like this. Okay, I got it. I got it. Yes, I got it. Where is it? Here it is. So I remember if we put this on the ground, right, and then we look at it, we get, I think I need to change this background. It's so hard to read, but anyway. It's so transparent that it's basically impossible to read, but let me see if I put it on a darker background. Yes, like that. Okay. So you see here is the wooden bowl, and if we move an item, for example, let's say that we move this claymore into the container, it says that it cannot be moved. It's too large. Okay, the claymore doesn't fit into a wooden bowl. Makes sense. Let me see if I move just some butter. Okay, I move one butter there. Yes, this became 5 and this became 1. Okay, so this seems to be working okay. This seems to be working okay. So so if I put it back here, it works. So between container and inventory works okay. Okay. While if I do it with the exchange window, it doesn't. Let me just close this. If I do it with the exchange window, it doesn't. If I do trade, so we have few issues here. First of all, that the first slot is not slot 0 but is slot 1. And this is already pretty weird because I think it should be slot. It should start from 0. That's the first error. And the second thing is that when I move something, so let's say that I take one butter, I put it here, right? When I move it from here to there, you see the inventory is not refreshed. So there is something, even if for a second it just goes away and comes back, but it's not actually moved. While if I close my inventory and I open it again, no, actually it's not moving it at all. Does it keep it in my but this means I can copy, I can move too. And if I move the second, this one disappears. I mean, I think it should go away from here, right? It should go away from here. If I cancel the trade, then it should come back to my inventory. While it seems that now we completely lost it. So there is something in the exchange window which is not working as expected. That's the problem. It kind of stays in the exchange window, you see? It's still there. If I reopen it, it's there. If I move it back, let me see if I move it back. Yeah, if I move it back, it kind of works. So it stays in the exchange window, so there is no cancel trade, which is a problem. So we should ensure that we cancel the trade, and when we cancel the trade, the items is brought back to my inventory. So it is another problem that we have with the exchange window at the moment. Okay, so let's try to fix first the slot. Okay, the slot should be pretty easy because this one, you see, it says I put a printout. You can see in the top left, it says slot clicked, container -3 slot 1, while in reality this should be slot 0. So this is the first problem we need to fix. So why is slot 1? Because this may then generate some problems, you know, because if it goes into the wrong slot, then when you try to pick it up, it picks it up from the wrong slot as well. So everything starts to be wrong and is a mess. So let's check, for example, the container window. Let's check the container window. If I go under window, there should be a win container. Where's one? Win container details, okay. Actually this is dynamically generated. That's probably the difference. And when I generate it, let me see how we generate it. Create bulk inventory slot if already filled. Slot in container start from 0, you see? So there is the start index. Now in our exchange window, I think we didn't do this. Did we give it a number or not? How can I set up initialize all empty? Okay, so we are already doing this. Actually, it seems we start from 0. Event construct, right? Event construct, it does a for loop, then it does children count minus minus. So if he's yes, because it's start, so it start from 0 already. Why then is not working? Get children count. Well, depends if the children are in the right sequence. That's a good point. But they should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So they seems to be in the right order, but so why the slot 1 is initialized as 1? Let me see. Get child at and it is the index. Yes, so I get the child at 0. I cast it to WD slot, and then I say update slot, and I set all this information. And this is for the give panel, yes, and this is for the receive panel. Starting from 0. I'm very surprised that that slot is then 1. What I'm missing, boys? Can you see the error? There might be an error here, but if I say first index 0, I mean, should start from 0. Slot 0. Let me see this update slot, what it does. But this one should just set, yes, it's just setting the information, nothing else. So it just clears all the slots starting from 0. Why this one is 1 then? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this messed it up somehow. Maybe it's messed up because we moved some items into it. It could be. Let's see if they get messed up when I move the item, okay? So this one is 4, which is correct. 5 and 6. So 4, 5, and 6 are correct. Let me move one item there. And let me put it back. 4, 5, and 5. Yes, yes. It's messed up when he moves it. When he moves it, he messed it up. So as soon as I move an item, this becomes a wrong slot. Interesting. Interesting. So why this is happening, boys? Well, I'm expecting the exchange window to start from 0 though at the beginning, while it doesn't. Should we put some additional printouts or something? But definitely something is wrong in win exchange. Let me see when I do the add item what happens. So when I do the add item, so server says to add an item to the exchange window. Okay. So I do this add item and I get the item. I mean, maybe we can print out this stuff, but it gives me the slot in the item description. And the only way, and I get from the array the slot number. Yeah, in theory my server should give me a message saying that I'm trying to move one object. Let me see if it's there. No, because probably we don't have the verbose of the exchange at the moment, but I think we can turn it on. So we have some debugging parameters, and I think in the exchange we have some parameters that are, let me see, there is some log item. I think it's log item probably. There is an exchange manager. It's not the player to player, which is the one we didn't do yet. No, I think it's a slot manager, right? There was a slot manager which was managing yeah, slot manager, there it is. So slot manager, yes, is using log item. So I think we can use log item. So let's enable log item to level verbose, even if it's already log. So in theory, do we have any verbose? Let me see. Log item. Okay, error is fine. We have log, like go slot message movement from stacked item. Yeah, so log should be enough. So log item at the moment is log, so it should print out quite a bit of stuff. Actually, but in the server side I don't see it. Let me see in the client side, because maybe we see it in the client. In the client, I remember seeing some of the movement. Moved item, and it is. There is some debug. Moved item from slot 5 container -3 to slot 33 container -1, stack count 1. Okay, so this one, for example, is getting printed out. I think we should do it from scratch. Slot, why is it slot 5? Okay, let me try to do it from scratch and check the error messages properly, because I think we already have enough debug to understand this. But it's very fishy that the first one is not 0, considering I initialize it to 0. Something strange going on here. I'm just waiting the server to wake up. Okay. Like this slot, so if I move, let me see the log, huh? If I move like this one to here, did I get any specific message on that? No, because it's inside the same array. Ah, yes, there it is. The problem is that these vitals, can we stop this vitals update on stats window? Because this log is very annoying. Let me search it, we can disable it. There it is. Receive update from server on current values. I think we can remove this for now. Otherwise it's printing too much stuff and it's just cluttering our log message window. You see there are so many, I cannot even scroll up. But let's say here we got a moved item slot 16 from slot 16 container -1 to slot 37 container -1. Okay, 16 is correct because 16 is the first slot of our inventory. So this one is sensed it properly, right? And if I do the butter, it should go again to, yeah, 16, slot 16. Okay, so that's correct. That's correct. Now, let me try to trade again with this guy. If I click on the first one, it continuously, anyway, it says 1. It says 1, it doesn't say 0, so that's one problem. There is 2, there is 3, there is 4, there is 5, there is 6. So, for some reason at the moment they are from 1 to 9, while they should be from 0 to 8. There is the first problem. But then, even worse, when I try to move this from here to there, then it gets the... So if I move this here, it will appear in the second slot, like if the drag and drop is not bringing it to the right slot. Even if you should sense the slot that is behind the mouse, that is below the mouse, and that slot should be... So if I do this, you see, it moves it here, and it says... And it says from slot, oh my god, this vitals update, from slot 16 containers -1 to slot 1 container -3. And in fact, then it kind of shows in the slot 1 because the slot 1 is actually the second. But at this point, it screwed up the rest, so this slot now became 1, and so now I have 2 1. So if I go back here and I click on this one, yes, I have 2 1, 1 and 1. So, so the problem is really in the setup of these slots. So these slots are not set up properly. This is where the problem relies, okay, where the problem is. So we need to ensure that I think we need to add just some debug here and understand what is going on. So in our win stats, yes, I would like to save it because I want to remove this debug message. It's very annoying. So here, when we do the initialization of the give panel, we are updating this slot. I mean, I can put a printf here and see what happens, but I think that here for sure we will have 0, no? I mean, append, let me try. Append initial slot, and then we can say the index, and we can put the number. Okay, so we should see like a loop, like a long list, well, a list of 9 constructing the window that goes through this and set it from 0 to 8. I don't know if there is in any other place that maybe we mess up and we do it twice. Grid panel give, grid panel receive, get child at. No, I mean this one should be okay. Then G slot, what is this? G slot 1, make array. So we are making this array and we are setting to give array. G1 slot. Let me see if this is not, if this is correct, because maybe we called it wrong. G slot 1. No, seems to be okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, okay, the name of the control doesn't start with 0, but you know. The image. The image is the first child. The image is the first child. The one that we moved yesterday, you remember that we moved it? The image should stay at the bottom, otherwise it becomes the first child of the array, and so the image gets set as 0 and the slot gets set as 1. Painful. It was a stupid mistake. Stupid mistakes were made. Okay, so I think we have our answer. So the fact is that it was initializing it wrong is because, yeah, this was wrong. So we can test it again now, but I think it will work. I have good feeling it will work. So that mystery I think is solved. Is when I moved it yesterday at the top, because I wanted it not to, I mean, I was thinking that the image could somehow block the mouse click on the underline icons, but I think it was a better assumption. We had some new subscribers in these days. Whoever subscribed, thank you. Okay, so now we should start from 0. Let me just see if I can click on it. Yes, I can click on it. It's slot 0. You say slot 0, slot 1, slot 2. Okay, so now we should not mess up anymore. So if I move it, okay, it didn't move it at all. Okay. Why? Moved item from slot 16, container -1 to slot 0, container -3, stack count 1. Yes, exactly. Is it now? It's correct. Why I didn't like it? For some reason, it says can't find exchange 0. Client character C1 requested an exchange slot movement but is not in an exchange. Proposing to move item butter from slot 16. Okay, so it seems that we have another problem. But why was working with the second slot then? Okay, now it's not working with the second slot as well. But now the numbers are correct, and the server is actually complaining for another thing. So what the server is complaining about now is the fact that our NPC is not in a trade, and actually is correct. Actually is correct, because I didn't click on the NPC. I just reused the window that was popping up. So it's correct, because I have to go here, speak with the NPC, and then click on trade, and then when I'm trading with this NPC, he knows who I'm trading with. So actually that was perfectly okay. So if I move this here, okay, so now it goes to the right spot. If I put it back, if I put it here, okay, here it works. The only point is that it doesn't refresh our inventory, but this thing works. Okay, so now it works okay. Now how does it work in the old plan shift? Is it clearing your inventory slot? I think yes. I mean, it makes sense that this slot becomes empty, right? When you move an item, it should become empty, even if it's an exchange, meaning that it's not permanent. But you should not try to move another one. So if I move this and I try to move another one, in fact it's not possible. And if I move this back here, it puts it here. Okay. Yeah, but it's a bit awkward. I think this one should really go away. This one, this thing should really go away. Why it doesn't, I have no idea. So our inventory gets somehow refreshed, but it gets refreshed not considering the items that I moved in an exchange. Right? So that's the problem, because the item is still with me, obviously still in my inventory. So if you refresh the inventory, the item in theory is here, but the item is actually part of an exchange at the moment, so it should not show in my inventory here anymore. I'm not sure how we were doing it in the old plan shift. So, sorry, we're just drinking. Yeah, so we need to have the concept of items in inventory, but also items part of the exchange window. So, or we avoid refreshing the inventory, and so we do a kind of a trick, you know, because when you move it, we avoid refreshing it. And so you see it right, but the problem is that if for any reason the player closes inventory and opens it up again, the item will appear. So it's not a permanent solution, you know. The permanent solution is to have this item considered as part of the exchange, and so not being listed. I'm surprised that this is not the case already in our code. Can we test it? Let me see. Where do we update the inventory? So container exchange offering, move from offering money. So move from offering seems to be the one that we use. Handle slot movement from exchange offering slot to somewhere else. Actually, then it's not this one, because this is the one that going back. So I think that our function is not this, but is move from inventory then. So move from inventory is identifying the different slots. proposing to move item blah 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 from slot blah blah blah. So this is the one that we see server side, right? When we move something, if we search proposing, yes, proposing to move item butters from slot 16. And then we have an event receive event receive inventory PC. So actually, yes, we update the we update the inventory, and this is our mistake because we update the inventory without taking care of the items in the exchange. Let me see where we do it. Proposing to move, blah blah blah. It is doing all the check. Can I move it? You cannot move it. It is doing all the possible checks. Switch message to container. So now he's trying to understand if it's a container or something else. Let me see if there is a switch. Yes, container exchange offering, which is our -3. Okay, so this is where we enter. Apart from the fact that we cannot trade containers, but it's fine. Yeah, trading containers is not yet implemented. Okay, it's fine. Get exchange ID. So we just ensure that we are actually in an active exchange. And character inventory 5 exchange loss offered in a 2 slot. What does this means? Exchange. I don't understand this too much. Like this is when we swap two items, but actually, okay, so if there is already an item there, we just bail out, you know, and we do nothing. Okay, that's fine. But then here what do? We set the exchange offer slot, so we say what we are offering. Set exchange offer inventory. Set exchange offer slot. This is interesting. There is no documentation on this one. Okay, so I think we need to read the code. Set exchange offer slot. Size the index, find slot index, container slot, and not found. Inventory index, exchange offer slot, to slot. Exchange stack count, So it seems that it's flagging slot in exchange offer window on client. Yeah. So he's already considering the fact that that item is in the exchange. So he's actually setting the item in the character inventory as being exchanged. So which is pretty good. So our code is doing that already. It's just that when we send the inventory, we should not send it if there is an exchange offer slot active, right? I think that's the point. So exactly. In fact, here you see this piece of code is actually removing the item from the exchange. Okay, so everything is already laid out the way it should be. Our code was a good code. We just need to understand why when we send the inventory we don't read that piece. Now I need to understand what happens when so slot manager, set exchange offer slot, exchange add item. Let me see if we did it here or we did it at the end of the cases. Maybe at the end of the cases we did something. No, at the end of the cases we don't do anything. Default it is. So here it should go here anyway, right? Get the real destination, handle anything dragged on the character doll. I then propose, so dash log inventory frame. Disallow containers in containers, check for slot compatibility, check for dash slot already occupied, okay. Checks if it's stackable, because obviously it can also be stackable. Check the slot requirements. So at this point we are sure the items can be moved, and so just do it. Okay. Check for splitting stacks. Add the item. Save. Or we are moving the entire stack. Okay. Okay, and here we are updating the containers. I really don't understand this. I don't understand what is this. What is this if that slot greater than 99? Why 99? Well, what is this? What is this part of the code doing, really? If the destination slot is greater than 99, I mean there is no destination slot greater than 99. Destination slot divided by 100. I have no idea what this piece is doing. If you have an idea, please tell me, but I have no idea. So the only thing I wanted to check is if it was trying to update the inventory somewhere. And I mean, I see one update inventory status here. Let me check the update inventory status, what it's doing. Update inventory status for, let me see if we have this in the log. No, we don't have it. So this one is never getting called. Do we have it on the client? No. So we never arrive here. We never arrive here, which is strange though. Because we are always moving entire stacks. I think we should run it in debug and see what it's doing. At the moment I don't see the place where it's actually doing the update of the inventory. Maybe it's before this, I mean, or after the completion of this function. Move from inventory. So here we are in handle slot movement, move from inventory. Update item view, probably is this one, huh? Probably is this one. Yeah, probably is this one that is updating again our inventory. If inventory window is up, updated, yeah, I think it's this one. So here is where we send the update of the inventory window. The problem is that it is all fine, but if we are in an exchange, okay, update item view. I think I did some changes to this code compared to the original version, because I remember messing up a bit with that, so that could be the reason why it's not working. Let me search update item view. Let's search on the old code and see if the old code was doing something different, okay? Let me see, update item view. So update item view, no, it's actually doing exactly the same. Make it a bit bigger so you can read it. Data item view is doing exactly the same. We're sending the inventory. Okay, let's check this send inventory. Maybe I messed up something inside send inventory. Okay, it could be. So let's check the old code and the new code. Okay, it is the new code and it is the old code. The white is the old and the black is the new. So outgoing, client, blah blah blah, exchanging, exchange, it is all the same. Character data null is the same, the debug is the same, and then we have this for cycle. So in the for cycle, which is this one, we just check you see that it's doing the check here. So here is checking, at least for the money point of view, is checking if the item is in exchange. Exchange manager get exchange, client get exchange ID. Yeah, he's trying to get the current exchange. If there is a current exchange, he's trying to get the offered money and is subtracted from the actual money that you have. So your inventory will show without the money that you are offering. So it's already correct, right? So let me put a comment now that we understood it. Subtracts the money you are offering in an exchange from the update of your inventory view. So this is what it's doing, okay? Let's put it also in the old code because I think it's a good comment. We may use this comment also in the old code. So subtract the money you're offering in exchange for blah blah blah. Now the point is you should do it also for the items, not just for the money. Let me see. I think it's here. If exchanging and invite item exchange lots, that gets that count minus blah blah item gets that count. So yeah, this part we have it exactly the same. So if the item, so if we are in an exchange and the item has an exchange offer slot which is different that character slot none, then we remove the stack count we are exchanging from the current stack count. Okay, I understand. Otherwise we just send the stack count. Okay. But this means that we will have a stack count of 0, right? Aha, here it is. You see, butter 0. You see the number 0? So we have a stack count of 0, so it's pretty good. So okay, so everything works. The only problem is that when we are viewing the inventory window, when we are displaying the inventory window, for the items that are 0 quantity, we should not display them. Okay, so that's the point. Okay. So in the exchange, no, not in the exchange. In our inventory, which is, where is it? Is in is in a tab. Yes, is in tab inventory. The reason that is in tab is long to explain, but so when we are displaying this, when we are receiving the data, because here we are receiving the data. Oh, that's pretty nice. What is this thing doing? Okay, I don't know. Let's not get distracted, even if it's a weird graph. When we receive, there it is, update inventory, should be this one, right? Update inventory, temporary set name. What does it mean, temporary set name? Temporary, why is this temporary? Update inventory, so get the character, cast it to blueprint, branch if is, what is this condition? Please. Why this code is so messy? Cannot even read it. What is the condition? The condition is that what the fuck? What is this? So it gets the player character, okay? It gets the because it says is the thingy at the top that says who you exchanging with. Trading with none. Okay. Trading with none. Okay. So first of all, this should be get char full name. Otherwise, it will never work because the name we see yesterday. Get char full name. The single name is not. The single name is not, the first name is not replicated, while the full name it is. So what it's doing here is trying to check if the length of this is greater than 2, I mean why 2? If my name is B or if my name is Z, why? But anyway, and it's checking this, and in case is greater than 2, then it's setting the text as the full name. Otherwise, it's setting name not found. Actually, what we see in the UI is that it's setting the name to none. Probably because it's not null, but it's empty, and so it gets none as a result. I mean, I don't know why we do this check. I mean, if you are not trading with anyone, you should just first of all, I would prefer to say trading with no one or something like that instead of trading with name not found. Let me put no one so that is different from the none. Okay, so I always prefer to put the variable at the top and the function, you know, so there is what you are applying and there is the function you are applying. So that is a bit easier, in my point of view, is easier to read. Okay, so we do this kind of check. Can we just make it slightly more readable? Let me see if I can. Like if this chart, so we are getting the chart name we don't need anymore. So we are getting the name of this player character. So we're getting his name, and from his name we are doing this check in length. and here we are branching based on this check. Yes, and here is the result. Okay, I think like this is a bit more readable than what it was. Okay, fine. Okay, did it just setting the name? I don't know why it's temporary, but I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, why temporary? I think we are setting the name, so set name of NPC, can also be a player, of NPC player you are trading with in the UI. Okay, I think it's fine. I mean, this one we can leave. I mean, the greater than 2, I don't understand. Actually, this greater than 2, I think we should just remove it. I mean, it makes no sense to greater than 2. I think greater than 0. I mean, if it's no, if it's null, it also should be not the length, but it should be if char full name is actually valid. By the way, isn't this getting my player character? So what is this? For sure it is not correct. It is getting my name. I will see my name in that thingy. I will see my name. I want to see the name of the... No, wait a second. Ah, it's this one, name not found. Yeah, it's my name. Okay, sorry, I was switching the two windows. Okay, this makes no sense. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. This is the only thing that makes sense. Set your name. But why we have our name at the top of the window? I don't know. Set your name on top of the inventory window. I don't think why we need. I don't think we need it. Why we need to know our name? We know our name for sure. So in our inventory is our inventory. Why we need our name on top? I don't know. But this is. Do we need this? I don't know if we need. I don't think we need this actually. But okay, so I was confusing the merchant window with the inventory window. So now we are in the inventory window. So let's leave it, but we just type our name at the top. Fine. Not very exciting. But then after this, on top is not the correct English, right? So is at the top of the inventory window. I want to say that is at the beginning, but okay, so it goes here. Then what it does, it gets the first player controller, okay, it casts it to PS character BP, okay, it gets the pawn, okay, then with this pawn is rendering an image for the character window, okay. Why we do it when we call it update inventory? I'm starting to think that this update inventory is not the right function that we are searching for, actually. No, it is. It is. Because it's called when we do this inventory, receive inventory on client, which is receive inventory PC. So I think yes, that is the one. No, it is the one. It's the right one. So we are looking at the right piece of the code. At least that's good. So render an image for character window. Why we are doing this all the time? It's pretty crazy. check for cached inventory. Okay, this is good because we are caching it in case it's not. The only problem is that this cache should be invalidated, but I think we invalidated when we received this, right? Somehow, some way. I hope so. Otherwise, it would be a failure. Receive inventory. Yeah, I have cache inventory. Ouch. I think it launched another. There it is. Oh wow, now clicking on the blueprint actually brings to the right spot in Visual Studio. Wow. You remember that when we were clicking in 2015 on one things like this, it was taking like forever first, and then it was launching another Visual Studio, and at the end it was opening a text file. Now it seems that when I click on it, it's actually going good. I'm just wondering why this is flagged and is not unflagged, but I was expecting it to be okay, anyway. Tab inventory, the cached version of inventory. Do we have this message in the client? Let me see. Because this part is not something that I used to. Yeah. We have this in the client and is updating all our inventory. Okay. Now here we are updating the player currency. Fine. We are updating the player currency icons. Fine. Why we do this all the time though? I mean, every time we receive a new inventory, we refresh all the icons. It's not needed, boys. It's not needed. Okay. Work out how many inventory slots to draw. Okay, so here we do a for each loop of the array. The array is the structure. Okay, all of this. Updating inventory slots. Yeah, remember this piece. This piece I debugged already a million times, but so create the bulk slots the first time. The second time just clears the picture. Okay, good. So this was already working as expected. So here is doing this, and then here, what is this? This is just debug. This just prints out. Yes. Updating slot, updating slot. Yes, so here we are updating all the slots. Updating inventory slot 32, updating slot 25, 22, 20, 17. Okay, you see? Here we are updating, yes, all the slots. Now, it is exactly where we need to put our check, okay? Hello, Tua. Welcome. How are you, man? Everything going good? So here is where we need to put this check, which was probably on the previous client, but is not on our client now. And the thing that we should do is for each loop this. I think we need a branch here and see if the stack count is 0, we assume that the item is in an exchange, right? Because this is the logic that we have. So here we need a branch, and this branch can you just excuse me a second? I have to go to the bathroom 1 second. Do I have a screen for coming back soon? No, we should make it though. I have a goodbye stream. I have a stream starting soon, but I don't have a... be right back. Let me make it so we have it for the next time. So be right back at the moment is empty. I need to create a new image similar to this. Sorry, I'm just switching quickly between the thingies, but don't worry. So this image is welcome logo 4, which is under PS. One second, is under PS, yes, I see it. Unreal Engine, welcome logo, Unreal Engine. Welcome logo 4, okay, I have it. So we copy paste it and we call it welcome logo 5, and we added this. Send to paint. Okay. So if I delete this, well, I should delete it in black. Should delete it in black, and then we do with the same color. I don't know. I think it was this color in the same font. No, I don't have the Planeshift font installed yet. Holy moly, that's so bad. Wait a second, because you know the mythical crash. You remember the crash of my PC? There is another missing piece. You know, another missing piece. It seems that it's finished when you say, "Oh, I finally restored everything." No, there is always small pieces missing. And in this case we are missing the font, which is under, I think, I'm searching it. I will find it for sure, because it's in the old, there it is. So if I do install, installing font. Okay, so I think I have to close this because this guy is a bit stupid, so I guess they will not refresh it automatically, but it's okay. So if I now open it again and send to paint, if I now want to type something, there it is. Nice, so we also restored our font. So be right back. That's it. So they will just be right back, boys. But at least we have it, so the next time I don't have to go through this again. So we will just have our message, and I will just click once and everything will be done, you know, and everything will be done. So we save it like this. We save it like this. Do we want to center it? Maybe. Background color. Okay. This one we save it. We put it in OBS. We put in OBS inside this. So I need a new picture, which is what? Image. Create a new image. No, add existing. How do I? Create new. We call it Be Right Back. And I select it from my disk. It is taking a bit of time, I know, but at least we have it for the next time, boys. Okay, I just need to center it in the middle. Nice! we have it. So this is my screen. This is my normal screen, and now if I click on OBS here, boom, it becomes be right back. Nice, exactly what I needed. Okay, now we have that as well. So be right back. 1 second, 1 minute, even less, 30 seconds. Okay, I'm back. So I can switch back to this. So yes, to be sure that this clears out properly, we need to put into our blueprint here a branch which is checking if the stack count is greater than 1. Is greater or equal to 1, right? So if this is true, maybe we can put a comment, otherwise we will forget so easily. What is this thing? Inv-array get okay, so let's put it there so it's a bit less messy. So this one is this one needs a big comment, by the way, because this one otherwise we will forget like immediately if I don't put a comment here. So this one is items with stack count equal to 0 are in the exchange window, and so should not be displayed in the inventory window, obviously until the exchange is getting then cancelled, right? But okay, so this branch, this is what this branch is doing. And so if it's true, yeah, if it's true, we can print the updating slot and all of this, which is fine. If it's false, what do? Nothing. We just go nowhere, right? No, actually we should clear the slot. Well, the slot actually is already cleared. The slot is already cleared. Let me think about it. The slot, well, the slot is cleared because I moved the items. I moved the item. Yeah, it's already clear. I think if we leave it like this, it will work. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's test it and see if we manage to catch this nasty error. This one was not easy, huh? I mean, it was easy, but to recall how the system was working and everything, so the complexity was just to remember how it was working and where the check was done. And the check was actually done client side, so the server is sending it anyway, which is a bit stupid, by the way, because we are sending an unnecessary item, but it's only one item in the exchange, so I think it's fine. I mean, it's not a big deal. But probably would have been best just not to send it from the server side, right? Just to avoid sending it. By the way, what are the friend suggestion on Facebook? I mean, I don't use Facebook much, but I use it only for posting this plan shift stuff. But like now I got a friend suggestion. What is a friend suggestion? People that I don't know is getting suggested. Anyway, okay, so here we are. So we want to trade with this guy. Hello, man. Hey, Lanky. Oh, by the way, Cranny Cran now is on top of the window. So if I click on trade and I move this butter. Yes, you see, it's not shown here anymore. Now the complex stuff, like if I split this stack of 3 and I take only 1 and I move it here, here it remains as 2. Okay, that is good. If I move it back, it becomes 3. Wow, don't tell me that it's working. If I move this butter back here, okay, nice. So moving back and forth seems to go right now. The problem I think is now that if I move it here and then I accept the trade, but the guy doesn't need it, trade declined. Oh, the item comes back to my inventory. Okay, so this works already. Very nice. Are there other cases we want to test? We tested the single item, the split. Let's test the swap. The swap is very... But if I open again the window, I see one butter here, which is not good. When I open the... Why the exchange window is not cleared when I open it up? If I put this butter back in my inventory... Yeah, it does nothing, because actually the server is keeping the consistency, you know, so the server knows that there is nothing, but for some reason the client is seeing this lot is still filled up. So if I put 2 items, one here and one here, I click on OK, then let's say that I say buy, so I exit from the trade, I speak with this guy, I trade again. Yeah, the 2 items are there. Okay, so this is another bug we need to fix, okay? We need to fix this freaking buggerinos. This buggerinos has to be fixed because it's not good. Yes, my inventory get refreshed right, but the trade window is not refreshed right at all. Okay, so how do we do this? We need when the exchange window is opened. I think we can do it when it's open, no? When should we do it? When should we do it? When should we do it? Win exchange. We should do it because when I click on, I think the construct for sure is not, because the construct is is this. If I do it on the add item, remove item, also will not work, because I need to do it when the window is shown. When the window is shown. Let me check. If I just click on the X, what happens? So if I click on trade, okay, let's remove this stuff. If I click on trade, but I then do this and I click on the X, nothing happens. Nothing happens, so the item will still be there. Do we want to cancel the exchange by closing the window or not? Because in theory I could disconnect my client at this point, right? Let's imagine that I quit. Will this item remain here? Probably not, because it's only client side, right? I think it's only client. Let's try. So if I exchange this item and I just quit without closing the exchange transaction, nothing at all, and then I launch the client again, I don't know exactly in which state I will be, but I think I will be in a stupid state, like the exchange is still open, or maybe when I disconnect, our server is so smart that it closes all the exchanges. Maybe. Possible. It's actually possible. That our code is smart and just closes all the exchanges. So the exchange window is up, but it's obviously empty. If I click on this, nothing happens because there is no character. No character selected, but if I trade again, obviously here will be empty. I think the transaction kind of goes okay. So when I disconnect, I think the status is cleared out, so it should be fine. The problem is that this window doesn't get cleared out when I confirm the exchange or when I close the exchange. I think, to me, I mean, if I close the window or if I mean, it should reset. So I think we need to kind of override, this X, or we just remove it. Because there should be maybe two buttons, One is accept and the other is decline or cancel. Right, and so if we close the window, we cancel the trade, and I don't want to see that icon anymore. So whenever this window opens up, so whenever this window is shown, which is basically, this window can be shown only when I click on trade. There is no other way. So I think we can just do it from here. Whenever I click on trade, I think we should clear out this. The problem is that if I'm moving more than one item and I don't notify the server of the fact that I closed the window, because I actually need to start a new trade. I need to start a new trade. Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's good. When I click here, I think we can initialize a new trade, and I think it's already done this way. When I click on this in our NPC bubble something, if I click on trade, which is this bubble here, I think it should trigger set up buy and trade. So trade bubble trigger buy, bubble trade is give trigger. So what happens when you click it? I have no idea. Where is the code for if buy is pressed, then close the window? Okay. Send a message to the client. I think it's sending a special command like a /trade or something to the NPC, and so we will receive it server side as /trade, but I don't know then how we initiate the trade. That's not very clear to me. I don't remember. Let me see. We should have a trade function somewhere here. Receive inventory, receive exchange item, receive remove item, send move item. There should be one function that is actually triggering the trade. Oh, there it is. Merchant window buy and sell. Request trading with an NPC. Request begin trading. Okay, so this one, why is not together with these other ones? Well, okay. There is the function that actually starts the trading for us. Request begin trading. So in our blueprints we should have somewhere in the code this request begin trading. Let me search for it. Here it is. So start trading with an NPC, request begin trade. This is the one I want to search for. Request begin trade. Actually, it's in multiple places. Why? Request begin trade. Yes, because one is from the interact UI, so which is the context menu on the right click, and probably another one. Request begin trade. Buy sell window. Here I think we have called the same two different functions the same way. That is my feeling. Sell buy interaction UI. Yeah, because I could do it also from here, right? Now this one is a completely different. It's a completely different mode. Here I want to sell and buy, and the other one I'm trading items, for example, for a quest. So are two completely different functionality. Why we are calling the same thing? Because we have a type buy. Wait. Type buy. Type sell. So we pass in a type which can be buy or sell, but this is not the one I'm searching for then, because I want to request begin trading. Request trading with NPC, buy or sell. No. Request merchant buy sell and request begin trading. Why these two are freaking the same? I think here we have a bit of a mess in our code, because request begin trading is one thing and request merchant buy sell is another thing, you know, so it's completely different. So let me see server side what we get, because actually I think we are calling this server side. Is there a way I can stop these update vitals logs? Update vitals. Let me see where we have it, because it's spamming so much. Update vitals, current project. Okay, here it is. Log temp. Why log temp? We should do it in, not in log temp, we should do it in, what is a good log for that? A good log for that is, a good log is, so game mode, scripts, SQL, NPC, dialog, pet, combat, item, quest, cache, trade, spawn, loot, message, sound, weather, NPC, crafting. None of those. So, or we create one, well, we can put it in combat, but if you put it in combat, then it will really spam our, or we create a new log, which is called vitals, and we just put it there, because this one is pretty annoying. These are basically the statistics of the character that are getting updated every millisecond, I don't know, every second or every 20 milliseconds, 200 milliseconds, I don't remember, but they are updated continuously for regeneration of mana, regeneration of HP and all of that, so we get a million spams, as you can see, and we don't really need it now, so we need to put in a log which is unlikely to be triggered, but this log here is very likely to be triggered, so or we put it in combat, but I don't like it in combat either. I think this log we should probably just remove it. Did we add such a printout in the old code? It seems a bit stupid to have that printout. It's so verbose, so incredibly verbose. Client vitals predict. Are we in the same place? No. We have a server vitals update. There it is. No, actually, that printout is not existing in the old code. I think I added it myself just because I wanted to do a check. So, okay, so let's just comment it out. I think we don't need this. I think it's just, okay, so let's just remove it. It's just, and then also we have another one, which is this calling stamina rate check, which is also kind of spammy. Calling stamina rate check. This one is probably inside the blueprint then. Let me see. Yes. Also this one, I think we can remove it now. So we remove a bit of spam that we have on the server. Okay, anyway, we will be able to see it a bit better, but now let me try to see it anyway. So if I click on this, the server should give me a request merchant category So hard to see with all this mess. Request begin trading. Okay, it said actually request begin trading. It said request begin trading. Okay. If I do this and this, it says start exchange. It says start exchange, so it's actually a different one. It says start exchange, trade request and from. There it is, start exchange, exchange manager, start exchange. So it's going through another piece of code. So it's calling this start exchange. Start exchange is a blueprint callable. Okay, so if I search here, so probably was not that function, but it's this function. Start exchange is actually called by start exchange message, and start exchange message is actually called here. Check for special trigger, give item. Okay, here it is. There it is, initialize. So are we server side here? No, here we are client side. Initialize the exchange, pop up the exchange window. Okay, so I think we should clear it out here. So whatever happens, yeah, I think we should. Whatever happens, we clear out our window. Yes, before this, like here in between, we clear out our window. How do we do it? How do we clear out our? Because actually here we are inside. That's pretty tough though, because we are inside the button. We need a dispatcher to go up, because here we are inside a specific button. Yeah. Or we do it when we come back. Let me see. No, because you also pop up the exchange window. So it says set array element, show window. It shows the window number 9, so it's going here. Or we put it inside that, but it's a bit, it's a bit dirty to put it here. We could put it here and say if the window is 9, also clear the elements, but I really dislike it. I really dislike putting it here because it's like spaghetti code, so I don't want to do it here. Do we have a way to check? Do we have a trigger? Do we have a hook point in our window where we can just detect the fact that the window is getting shown and just do the cleaning there? Because that could be a solution. So detecting the fact that this window is getting shown. How do I do it? Real engine detect window show. Detect show window. No. Set visibility. I need a trigger on set visibility somehow. Probably it's not there, huh? Because I mean, putting it here is so bad. I don't want to do like if my window is this one is getting shown, then clear the elements. I really don't like it. I really don't like it. It's not following the logic, you know, of what we are doing. I think it would be better to do it here. Yeah, but here I think we can get our window, right? We can get. So we know we show the window, and just after this we could clear it. Do we have a reference to our window somewhere? I think we have it. I think we have a reference in the character or in the player controller. This is the window exchange. There it is. Window exchange, we have a variable set on PlaneShift player controller, so I think we can, which is probably cleaner. Inside our, yeah, I think we can get. Why we only get player character here? I think we can get here the player controller and get our variable, which is pointing to that window. And because here we are all client side, right? Here we are inside a window, so it's fine. And so here we can do a get win exchange, and so here we have our window now, and on this one we can call a cleanup of the item. So win exchange, do we already have a function that just clears everything? We have this one on an event construct, which by the way we can make it more generic. We can put it in a function and then call the function. What it's doing is just clearing up everything, right? And then it's also making this array, update slot, G slot, make array. This one is not needed anymore. I mean, it's not needed in our function, so we just need, basically we just need this to become a function, and then this to become a function. Okay, let's try. So I take all of this and I say collapse to function, and we call it clear give slots, right? And everything should work okay, yeah? And then we create another one. So yeah, it also simplifies a bit, you know, the graph here, so which is nice. And then we have another one here, which is all of this, which we also collapse to a function, and we call clear receive slots. Okay. Okay, now slot 9. Now, why this one doesn't stick into place? Okay. Now, this one is must sim. So now we can call these functions directly from our code because we have it. So from the code that was just editing a second ago. So from here, yes, from our win exchange, we will call clear give slots and clear receive slots. Okay. Okay, good. So this I think is a better solution actually. Yeah, this is much better. So we do it only when we need it, when we start a new exchange. So this will be the same when we start the exchange with a player. Because at the moment it is more of an NPC. Yeah, this is the NPC piece. But okay, let's just test it out and see if that gets cleared out properly, which I hope it will. So. Why it doesn't like it? I cannot find the function because I didn't compile it yet. I think that's the only problem. But I need to close the server. Try. Okay, so let me just compile and save. Sometimes when you click there, the toolbar goes to okay. Was it like this? Yeah, probably is. So compile and save, and which other did we change? We changed this one. Compile and save. Yeah, check out what you need to check out, no problem. This one now should compile properly. Yes, check out. And our W container. This one I think we didn't change anything here. We didn't change anything on this one. Why is asking me to? Maybe I just moved. Maybe I just selected something and moved something. Yeah, could be. This one we can compile and save, and that's it. Okay, I think it's all fine. So we saved everything. I mean, W container, I didn't change it, but okay, let's just check out and save it. But I didn't actually change it, I think. Okay, so I want now to test it and see if that's cleared out properly. Just need to wait a few seconds that the server loads up. Okay. So the test is I trade with this guy, I move an item into the exchange window, then for whatever reason I decide to cancel it, but I leave the item there, then I click on trade again and the item is gone. Okay, good. So it works okay. It works okay. It works okay. Yeah, the question is, if I have if I move this item to a trade window and I just close it like this without saying trade accept, right? If I say like buy or something, my inventory is not updated because that item stays in the exchange. So that item stays in the exchange because it's still part of the exchange between us. What if I start a new trade? I guess it's the same, huh? Because the item actually stays in the exchange, so I need to be sure that we terminate the exchange. We have to be sure we terminate the exchange to restore the item to its former state. The better way is just to click here, and if you click here, he understands that you are trying to trade, he declines the trade, and is done. Now I don't know if we want to put an expiration of that, but you know what? I think for now it's fine. I mean, that's a bug. I mean, that's not a bug. This is a kind of a glitch, so that the player may remain without an item in his inventory. It will just disconnect, reconnect, and he will see it. But it's a very unlikely event. I mean, it's well, unlikely. I don't know. He has to click on the X and not click on the other thingy, or just walk away from the NPC, or just click on trade and say bye. And the trade is still open in theory, so if he moves away, his item stays in the exchange. Yeah, there are a number of cases. I think all those cases were already taken care of in the old code, so we may then dig down, I mean dig a bit and see how the old code was doing it. But for now I think I don't care. We spend enough time on that, and it works relatively good. I mean, it works okay. There is just that small case that has to be fixed, but it's okay. We'll fix it another day. So this one is fine. So I consider this to be working properly. So let's see our mission, because I think we did some pieces, right? Let's see our mission. Refresh the inventory when moving an item to the exchange window. That is done. Nice. And check why the exchange window is using only the second or third slot when dropping an item. That has been fixed. Then create or reuse the UI for player-to-player exchange. Okay, this is finally where we go into player-to-player exchange. The difference between an NPC exchange and a player exchange is that also the right side, which is the receive, so this part, the receive part, is active when trading with a player, right? I think that now if I try to drop an item here on the right, yeah, it doesn't allow me to, exactly, which is actually correct. But let me see if I can see the item. Yeah, I can see the item. Okay. But when I trade with a player, this part should be enabled, right? So I think the UI can be exactly the same. I think this exchange window will work the same for the NPC and for the players. We just need to enable it. I just need to enable the right side. Well, no, we just need to populate it. I mean, there's no need to. Okay, there's no need to enable it. It's already enabled. So I think the server crashed. No. Why is my character then in the T position? Hello. Why you are staying like this? You want to fly? Okay, you want to fly. I understand you want to fly, but you're not supposed to fly like this. What is going on? Why you lost your pose? Why you lost your skeleton and everything? Something happened to the character? We should also remove all these other debugs on the UI because it's very annoying. Let me remove it now. This X and Y, I think we are printing the movement of the window, so whenever we move a window we print this million debugs, and they are not needed anymore at the moment. So I think we can remove also those debugs, because it's just to avoid the cluttering, the spam. Avoiding the spam, boys. Avoiding the spam. So let's search in the blueprint that X and Y, and let's remove it. I think I know where it is, but it's easier to search. If I go here, I search for X equal, it would be a lot, I think, but let's see. Ah, nothing. Okay, so because probably I print out a vector, I print out yep, I print out the X and Y values, but not with a print, but just with the actual value. So where is that done? I think that one is inside W container. Should be inside W container. Should be here somewhere. This one is pretty big, by the way, but it should be something in update window position. I think is here. Yes, is the scale. Yeah, we are printing out. All these printouts are the ones that are messing up, I think. So I think we can just skip them completely. I have to be careful on this one because it took me so much to fix it that I don't want to break it. But yes, I think we are printing this, and are we printing something else? No. The set window position is not so annoying because the set window position is only printed out once when you release the button, so I think it's okay. Anyway, something happened to our character, I don't know exactly what, and he just lost his skeleton and his ability to move and animate, so he's back to the T position for no reasons, but, well, for sure for a reason, but I don't know which one. Okay, so let's recompile without that spammy log. Maybe what we can do, because we also removed some on the server side, let's just recompile it. Let's just recompile this. So now, to make it player to player, what we need to do is to ensure that we have a new button. I think it's stated in our mission. Add the in context menu. So the UI, I think is fine. The UI will just reuse the one that we have for the NPC, and to me it is done. I mean, I don't think we need to think about it anymore. So it's just the same UI. Makes no difference. We just need to do this. Add the in context menu icon for trading with other players. That is what we need to do. So how to do this? At the moment, I think the trade button shows only for NPCs, right? We can check, but I think so. But we can connect with 2 players and see if connecting with 2 players we get the icon in the context menu. So one way to have the server start up quickly is to delete all the unneeded maps. So at the moment I have only the central map, and all the other maps I just deleted them in the just in the Windows Explorer. I just deleted the maps, so he tries to load them but he cannot do it, and so it doesn't bail out, which is pretty good. It just skipping them. Okay, so So if I right click on an NPC, these are the icons that I get, which are give item, attack, speak, see the description, and if it's a storage NPC, I also see the storage icon, and if it's banking, I also see the banking icon. And then the X is just quitting from the context menu. Now if it's a play, so the one that I would like to use is this one. No, the one I would like to use is none of this, because for the NPC I have to speak with him and then click on trade. Okay, there is no direct icon for giving an item. For exchange, I say the exchange is done after speaking and clicking on trade. I don't know if it's very intuitive though, because it will be different for players. But okay, let's launch another client and see which kind of context menu we get, because I don't remember. So we can actually connect with the same account. It's a bit stupid, but we can do it. And we just select another character, which hopefully is in the same place or close by. Okay, yeah, they look identical, but they are not. They have their own feelings and dreams, which are different. Where's the other guy? Okay, so now we have two clients. So the other guy, let me just go like in the middle here. Okay, this guy has armor on it, and this guy doesn't, so we can recognize them. There it is. It's down there. Yeah, this weapon is not exactly in the right place, I know. Okay, so hello, hello, buddy. Hello. Nice armor, by the way. So if I click on this guy and right click, let's see what I get. Okay, I get only speak, look, and attack. If I speak, I don't know exactly what's happening. Probably nothing. I should just open the chat or something. Yeah, I should just open up the... should just focus on the chat window, I think. No? But anyway, so this menu is built based on based on the context object, which in this case is a player. So let me see what we have in the editor. Okay, now we have to launch also the editor at the same time. So we have the server, two clients, and the editor running. My machine is still doing okay, I hope. 23 giga of memory out of 32. Seems to be okay. Okay, so in the editor we want to search for the interact UI, which is actually this one. And we want to see in this crazy blueprint how do we create the menu. And you see that, yes, it's switching three cases. It's switching when we are interacting with the NPC, when we are interacting with a player, and when we are interacting with an item. So if I click on an item on the ground or something. So if we are interacting on the NPC is the most complex part. You see, we have all this stuff because we have been working just with NPC for the past months, but now we want to work with players as well. So with player at the moment we only have three icons, which are actually I think they don't do anything. Yeah. We are just displaying the icon, but we are not associating any function to it. interesting. So okay, so we need to make it better. So this will be the context menu for players, and we need to do something very similar to what we have here above. So for each icon we need to set up this button 1, button 7. Yes, because it is we need to say, okay, so I need button 7 here. Yeah, there's few things we need to enhance. So we have to associate the actual button to do something, and it's pretty easy because the image is image number 2 and button number 2, so it's pretty simple because we have set it up this way. Let me just see how I had it before. Yes, so this button 5 should be connected here. Now after doing this, I need to well, first I need to add the new one. So the new one is the exchange. What is the exchange icon, player to player? I have no idea. We can change it later on, but it would be nice to put it so to put it now in place. So anyway, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think, right? So it's from 1 to 9, I think the sequence. Yes, because the sell by is on the top left. So let's try to put it in the same position of NPCs. So the sell by is the top left. So I think we can put it in the same place so that for players and NPCs it's kind of in the same spot. So we will have to do something like, can we keep them in order? No, we didn't. Okay. So we need to do something like image menu 1 and button 1. We need to do the same thing here, so setting up the icon. This one will become image and this one will become button, and this one goes where? Let me check where it's coming from player. Yes, connect it here, we connect it here, connect it here. And the icon, we need to choose an icon. We need to choose an icon. I would choose the same icon that we have for the exchange with the NPC. I think this is better. So the icon is 2, 1. No, so it's 1, 2 in our atlas of the icon. So we use the same one, 1, 2. And now we need to connect this to the actual. So let me see what we were doing here. After finishing this, we go here and we branch on something. We branch on a specific condition. Yes, because here if he's a merchant, if he's not a merchant, if he's a banker. No, but in our case for players it's easier because we can always exchange item to players. So I need to take this. I need to take this, and I need to take this as well, and I need to do something like this. And so for each one okay, something like that. For each one we need to set target array is this, index is the same index, so if it's 1 it should be 1, and then we need to set the item, sell by interaction UI. So these are actually functions that we are gonna call. Yes, we need to have then a function called this way. So we will call it exchange. We already have an exchange. If we don't have an exchange, we can use exchange. Okay, let's use exchange. So it will be exchange interaction UI. Okay. So we say that we want to call this function when this particular button is clicked. Okay, so it is on this one. Then we need to do the same. I'm just checking above because I think we have to do exactly the same. Yes, we have to do the same for all the others. So this one, and this one. So we enable it, you know, because at the moment those buttons are doing nothing. Target array is the same guy. Is the same guy that goes here. I can just, for cleanness of the graph, we just move it here at the bottom so it stays, you know, stays nice and clean. Okay, similar that we did above. And so now here we have to change all the index. So the index here is 7, here is 2, here is 5, so each one goes to its own function. And now in terms of, so the first one is for sure is exchange. Now the second one will be what did we do? We did the, let me check, I don't remember what is it. So the number 2 is the attack. Do we have the same for the NPC? Yes. So I think we can use the same here. Number 2 is the attack. Number 7, no, number 7 is empty. Number 7, yeah, in fact number 7 is empty. Number 5, number 4 and number 5. But why not? Why we have a number 7 here? I'm a bit confused by that. Because 2 is the attack, 5 is the describe or look at. So 5 is called get description UI, yes, and is the same for players or full. But I don't know why here we have a 7. And actually in the game we get a 4. There is location 4, which is talk. That is strange. At the moment we need only attack, trade and look at. We don't need a talk. Talk is not, so this 7, I don't know where it's coming from. For now we just leave it empty, I would say. I would call it TBD or something. But yes, this will set up the other buttons. That 7, I don't know what is it, and I don't need it at the moment. So let's see. Now, when we click on Exchange Interaction UI, we need a function, new function, which is called the same. So Exchange Interaction UI will be the name, and for now this function will just print something and then we will fill it out later, okay? So we'll just print Exchange Interaction UI. So that's what we want to do. Just we want to have the context menu showing up properly for now, and then the rest we will do. Unfortunately I have to quit the 2 clients and the server to test this. I know it's bad, but there is no other way, because we need to update the blueprint code. We need to compile it and save it. There is not something that does it on the fly for us, so, which anyway makes sense. So I need to save this and now restart everything, restart the server and the 2 clients. Sorry, I was distracted by something else. I'm here now. Okay, so we connect. So the server is up. We're just waiting the client and everything to go up. So we should have 2 clients, right? Yes. So one is this, and the second one, oops. And the second one will be the other character. Didn't we fix the fact that in the main screen here we had the proper items? Probably not, huh? I just dreamed about it, huh? I think I just dreamed about it. That we were seeing here in this screen the proper items equipped. Seems like we did it, but I'm not sure. Okay, so we have here our guy and the other guy. So we click. Let me make it a bit bigger for you. Okay, so we click on this guy and it doesn't give a shit. So at the same icons as before. Why? It doesn't identify it as a player for some reason. It is a player. Seems that our UI is not set up the way it should be. Let's see if one of these icons does something. Totally nothing. Okay, so for some reason this is not working. So I think we need to put some debugger stuff, because when we go into the setup of this UI, the setup context menu for players doesn't seem to be actually working. The fact is that it's setting up 4 icons, but common icons. Maybe just consider it an NPC, because it is not a merchant, it's not a banker, so it will skip these 2. Is alive, loot interaction is, yeah, if he will skip this one, and we'll just add 4 icons. Exactly, it's going here, it's going exactly here. It's thinking he's an NPC. For some reason he's thinking he's an NPC, because we have these 4 icons, which are attack, talk, get description, and close UI, which are exactly the one that we, yeah, that we have. So it's not getting the right object type. So let me check, switch on interact reaction type. So the type is passed on to this function, and who is calling this? So here we have our object type that comes from show interact window. Okay, show interact window. Object type is getting passed on here. So let's see who is calling this. A lot of people. Well, actually two. One. Okay, interact NPC, interact. Yes. Yes, so in both cases we are considering is an NPC. So okay, so here is where we have to do the change. This is where we have to do the change. So now this object type is defined here, and we just cast it to an actor, or we cast it to an NPC. Okay. No, I think we need something more here. We need to know if he's a character. So we need to know the character type. The problem is that the character type at the moment is not replicated client side. And we need to replicate it, because we will have the same problem when he's a pet. If you have a pet, we have a companion, let's say a familiar, a companion traveling with you, we would like to detect that that's a companion, because maybe we'll have different commands, right? Different interaction menu icons. So we want in our PS character, I guess, to search for the object type. We need to, I mean, for sure we have it. I think it's the chart type is called in the database. I'm not sure. We should have a variable here in PS character, which is the character type. This one. I think this one, character type, is the one that is telling us if it's an NPC, a player, or a pet. Now here I see there is no documentation on it. It's pretty bad. Why we have no documentation on this one? Okay, we don't have it, but I think it's this. So if I search character type in the current document, I think we will see character type count. Yeah, there is an enumeration, so there it is. So yeah, for documentation we should just see this PS character type enumeration. So maybe I can just say C enum character type for description of types, for types, list of types. Okay, let me put this comment also in the old code, because I think we need it. Is in PS character, because I want to keep the sources, you know, the old and the new sources, as much as I can aligned. And if I improve a bit of the documentation on one side, I want to do it also on the old one, because we may need, you know, to go back to the old one to do some checks or updates or whatever. So think it's important to character type the current document. There it is. Okay, so we added the comment also in the old code, which is nice. So yeah, so I was saying that we should see character type, and so basically it can also be a mount, by the way. It can be a mount pet, which is different from a mount. I don't know. And nothing else. Okay, these are the type of entities, excluding items, because items anyway they have a different class, but inside the APS character class, these are the ones that we have identified. Okay, good. So we need to replicate this one. We need to replicate this one, and let me just put this for a second here in a comment somewhere, because I think I need it. How can I? Let me just do this 1 second. I mean, it's a bit ugly, but I will improve it as we go. Okay, and then I can put it on a comment maybe in one of these things. Okay, so we need to replicate the character type. How to replicate it? Well, first of all, it has to be a type that is replicable, and I see is an integer, so it's perfectly fine. We can replicate it. Actually, it's an unsigned int. Okay, I think it makes no difference. I think we can replicate it anyway. So to replicate it, actually, we just need to make it a property. We need to add the property thingy. Let me just see another one like this one. uProperty. So we need to add uProperty replicated. Like this. And then we need to add it also to that incredible function which is called get lifetime something. Get lifetime. No. Get props. What is? I always forget that name. I always forget that name. Get lifetime prop something. Come on. No. It's in the CPP, huh? It's inside the CPP. PS character. Can I go into CPP, please? Thank you. Get lifetime replicated props. Okay, this one. So we need just to add it here. And so we will add PS character is replicating character type. So whenever this character type is changing server side, I mean it will never change, but anyway, if it's changing, it will get automatically replicated, and it will get replicated when the character is first created. So this means that now we can query the character type client side and display, let's say, the UI based on that. So unfortunately we need to recompile, so we need to close everything. I could do a hot reload, but I don't want to do it, so I just close everything, including the editor, and don't save those two, I didn't change them, and we just recompile this. Okay, By the way, in Visual Studio 2017, it seems that it's working much better. The integration with the Unreal Engine is much improved. I like it. I like it much more. It's working better, so I think it's been a good move to 2017. I like it. Okay, it's compiling. Do you have any questions meanwhile? I mean, if you want to interact with me in any way, would be nice. I see there is people watching. If you want to ask any questions about the game, about the meaning of life, about whatever you want, you can. If you want to chat in the YouTube channel, you need to register a Google account. That's the way it works, so you cannot just chat right away. While if you are looking on Twitch, because I'm also streaming on Twitch at the same time, you can type it on Twitch as well. Oh, what is the meaning of life? For me, it's making plane shift. It's a very simple answer for me. Or you can say that the meaning of life is searching the meaning of life. Do you like that? Or you can say that the meaning of life is not giving a shit about the meaning of life. I don't know, there are different interpretations here. Okay, so succeeded. You know, I had a grandmother which was very old. She died at 102 years old, 101 I think, 101 years old, and she was still pretty smart until the end. I mean, it was still thinking. I mean, not the very end like the last year, no, but let's say when she was like 99, 98, she was still pretty clear-minded, you know. So, and so I was thinking, what is the best question, you know, for a person that lived 99 years? So that I can ask, you know, to get so, and obviously it was the meaning of life. So I said, I asked her, in her point of view, I mean, obviously consider that a person that has 90, she died already like, I think 10 years ago or so. So, so she was born at the beginning of the century, you know, of the previous century. So she was born in, I think, 1910 or something like that. So consider that the life was very different for her than what it can be for you, right? So much simpler, much simpler in a certain sense, but I say much simpler in the sense of less things. So she was owning much less things that we own today, but much more complex because she went through 2 different wars. And yeah, and a lot of trouble in between. So, but anyway, so I was not expecting, anything particularly special. But she thought a bit about it, and at the end, she just said, I think at the end, the meaning of life and what you should research in life is well-being. I mean, in Italian, she said "stare bene," which in translated in English could be something like. Being well, being well with yourself and being well with the others. I mean, yeah, being well, being healthy and in good shape, and such. So this was the meaning of life for her, which by the way reached 99 years, being super smart, and then okay, in the last years she was not anymore, but she died after 100 years, which is anyways an achievement, So for sure is an achievement in the ranking system of life. And so yeah, it was so this was her version of the meaning of life. So just trying to stay well, healthy, and be happy, and that's it. I know it's a bit minimalistic, but my grandmother was very minimalistic. And I really like being minimalistic anyway. I try to avoid unnecessary things. So what is your meaning of life, Sway? It's a tough question, huh? So I think to me is probably something like yeah, staying well, being happy, but also let's say living the world a bit better than how you found it, That I think is an important piece that was missing in our view. So are we replicating this thing? No, okay, so now we are replicating it, but being distracted by the meaning of life, I recompiled it, but I didn't launch the editor to change the way. Yeah, I didn't launch the editor to change the fact that we have to switch, we have to branch based on the object type, on the character type, which now we have it on the client side. Yeah, I think that I don't know, it's nothing new. I think someone said it already, but let me see if I Google it. Yeah, I think someone said this. Leave this world a better place than how you found it. Yes, that is. I think it's pretty nice one. I don't know if it's really the meaning of life because it's pretty tough. I mean, it could be 42 as we know, but apart from 42, leave this world a better place than how you found it. Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. It's a tough question, but if you try to contribute a bit, I think that's the meaning. I mean, try to contribute to this freaking humanity, trying to evolve and giving your contribution, and Yes, leaving the world a bit better than when you found it, I think is the right one. At least I like it. Okay, so so here basically we are receiving, so now in our PS character, if everything worked as expected, we should have a new variable here which is called character type. So if we do like get character type, no, no, why? Why? If I put it as replicated and I set it here as replicated and I recompile like I did, in theory, and U property is replicated, assuming it's not protected or anything stupid, but no, it's protected, but what is the last one that I... wait. You need an accessor as well. Yes. Because like the full name is not that I can do get full name. I still need to call a function anyway. There is no way the blueprint is allowing me to access a variable directly, right? Right? Probably because it's protected. But anyway, so I need to have a function somewhere here, like I have for the others, like I have the get full name, the get character. Yeah, I need to do a get character type, which probably is already there. Get character. No, there is no get character type. I cannot believe it. Character type, come on. It's called get char type. Okay, get char type. So this one we need to make a U function blueprint callable. So if we do this, now we have the two thingies. We have the function that we can call, and we have the type that is actually replicated. So when we call the function on the client side, we will get the value correct. Right? Right. So let me recompile this, and now we will see the function. By the way, I think I have to go in a few. Tonight I cannot be so late as last night. Last night we went way over midnight, unfortunately. Way over midnight. And it was a problem, actually. And tonight I cannot. Tonight I cannot, so I think we will just do this test, ensure that the character gets the proper value, and then we call it a day. One failed. I think you will complaining about the character type, the const or the unsigned. Pretty sure about that. Let's see. Okay, there is no error. Okay, uint32 is not supported in blueprints. I knew it. Okay, what about an int? What about an int, my friend? By the way, we should change. We can change it everywhere, because also when we set it. Anyway, we'll convert it. Okay, but. Yeah, it's okay. We just have to convert the unsigned to signed, and will not be a problem anyway. Okay, it's compiling. Whenever you change PS character, obviously is messing up a bit with the engine because it's inherited from nearly all the classes, and so it's taking up more time to compile. So it's normal that it takes more. It's kind of a major change because we have to expose all of this functionality to all the other classes, and so he has to recompile and relink everything. But it's not a long wait. I mean, it's like 1 minute. So. Okay, it succeeded. We have a chance. We have a chance, boys. Believe. No, not the server. The editor. The server we don't need yet. Believe. So we are making the interact UI for the player, which is a pretty historical moment. We are moving from NPC to the players, so players can now interact with other players. Very historical moment. Okay, let's see. Now our character blueprint, well, actually our APS character, but this is derived from it, right? So if I do get chart type, do I see it now? Yay! Get chart type is here. Nice. Okay, so we can detect the character type. So now what we have to do, we have to switch this. Let me see, what is this thingy? I think we can bring it down more. Yeah, and we can say we will have to branch. If he's if he's an item, we don't care, right? Wait a second, I can remove this. So if he's an item, he goes his own way, and okay, he's here, he's a separate thingy, and he's an item. If he's a player, I mean, if he's a character of any kind, then we need to branch, right? And the condition will be, well, we can switch on type. It's not an enumeration though. It's not an enumeration. That's a bit stupid. I think it would have been better to switch on type, but I will switch on integer, which is not great, but it's fine. And maybe this thingy we paste it here in the comment of the switch so that is more clear. And this comment I remove it, and this one we make it a bit bigger. Boom, 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 and now what? So we don't branch anymore, we just switch. We switch on int, and the default we don't need. We need 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yep. And so if he's a 1, we go to interact NPC. If he's a 0, we go and interact player. And then we will add in the future also the mount and the pet. For now we don't have a mount, so unfortunately, but we will have, don't worry. And that's it. I think that is this will call the right. So we have to we have to put in this container selected. What is selected object? I have no idea, but yes, is the target, is the guy that we are selecting actually. Can we make this a bit cleaner? Like if I do this, and if I do this, well, it's not really clear, but no, it's not cleaner, but anyway, I don't think I have a way to make it much cleaner, so I think we stay as it is. We stay like this. Okay, so we have 3 selected object in, 3 targets in, and 3 values in. Player, NPC, and item. Good. Good, so we can compile. So now what I'm expecting is that finally we get the object type as interact player, and having the object type as interact player, we will reach this part of the chart, this one, which is context menu for players, and now we just need to be sure that we put in the right icons though, because we need for sure the close UI. This one we need it exactly the same, which is number 8. I think we should copy it exactly as it is, because we need to be able to close the UI also in this case. And this, so number 8 stays the same, this one goes here, this one goes here, this one goes here, this one goes here. Okay, the icon is that one is good because it's the X. 8 close UI. Okay, so now in theory, I don't know what is 7 though. I have no idea why we have something that we don't care for. I think we can remove it, because here we have 2, which is the attack, and we have it. 4, which is the talk, which makes no sense for us. In fact, we don't have it. 5, which is the description, which we need, and 8, which is the close, and plus we have our exchange, which is 1. So 7 actually we don't care, and I will remove it. 7 we don't care, and it's gone. Boop. Gone. Okay. Okay, let's test this way and see if it works. I think it should work. I should remember to check in the code, because I didn't check in some time, and if someone else wants to continue from where I left, it's important that he can do it. So I will check into SVN tonight. I mean, like in 10 minutes from now. As soon as we end the stream, I will check it in. So if any of you has SVN access, you should get the latest version, because I did some changes in the last 3 days that I think you should get. And if you don't have access to SVN, you can still request it. Okay. Okay. So we are here. We would like to be able to right click on this guy and see a menu which is different. Yay! Well, the icons are a bit messed up, but why the description is not the description? And the X is another X. I know I have 2 X's, and this one is the chat. I have no idea, but probably just messed up with the numbers. So the middle one, okay, none of them does anything, which I don't know if it's fine or not actually, but yeah, set timer pass to a bad function. Attack interaction UI. So the top one should be attack. This one should be attack. Why is not? I don't know. Anyway, we have our customized. At least we reached the point where we have our customized menu, which is different from players than NPC. Now, why we have these icons, I have no idea. But now I really need to go, so I will check it and I will fix it. The idea is that now we can, is at least printing something like, is at least printing something? Exchange, yeah, it's printing our printout though. It's printing Exchange Interaction UI. I don't know if you can see it, but it's printing it. So it's doing what we wanted him to do. Cannot really see it on the log here, but who cares? But it's printing it on a UI. Here is a small blue thingy on the left, Exchange Interaction UI. So it's actually working. Just the printout is working. So we will just have to fix the other icons and ensure that those icons are proper. But we have the customization of the menu based on the fact that this is a player. And this icon will have to launch the exchange window and then allowing us to exchange. So in our mission, where are we? We are still here, let's say. I would not flag this as done because we are like in the middle of this one, okay? But tonight we did quite a few. We did 3 of the missions, so fixing the inventory, checking why the exchange window is using the different slot, and then ensuring that this UI can work well also for the players. So I think it was a good progress. I feel it was a good progress, at least was progress. And with that said, I think that I will see you the next time, which it cannot be tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm actually doing Plane Shift Tabletop. Believe it or not, I'm doing Plane Shift Tabletop with some of my friends, and they are in the stone labyrinths, and they still don't know that the city exists, so they are still in the labyrinth, thinking that the whole world is just labyrinths and just caverns, but they will discover it sooner or later. At the moment they encountered a few NPCs and few stuff in the labyrinths, and some small outposts and villages. And I don't know, maybe tomorrow evening they will be able to come out of that. I have no idea, because as a good game master I never plan what will happen. Well, I plan a bit, but not that much. A lot is just created on the fly and created following like a trail, a predefined trail that I have in my mind. Okay, see you boys next time. Thanks for watching, and I think we will see each other Saturday afternoon if all goes well, if I'm motivated to stream, but I think I will. So probably Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon we will see each other again. See you boys. What is the music? What is the music?